Today we're here at Suzuka for Daily Race B, which is a 4-lap Group 4 sprint race. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I know I have as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment your favourite part of the race. First up, I want to go over my initial qualifying lap time. Set a 2:14, quite a low one at that, so I was pretty happy with that, which landed me P2 in my race. Going through S's here, wanting to keep the car in third gear, try and maintain a lot of speed throughout these corners, obviously trying to keep it close to the curbs just to maintain speed and keep on that apex, and come out of this corner here flat out almost. Obviously wasn't able to hit the apex perfectly there, but I still did maintain all my speed. So coming into this corner here, I did feel like I take it quite nicely. I did brake a bit early. This one definitely can be taken second. It is actually a relatively fast score compared to what it looks like. This hairpin coming up, I've really no clue how to take it, to be honest. I'm just kind of taking it how I kind of feel like at this point, but I should probably learn how to take that with Manufacturers Cup coming up soon. And I do not want to be throwing my whole race from that one hairpin in the Manufacturers Cup, where it really matters. Coming up to Spoon here, I really hate this corner. I absolutely despise it, especially the second part, man. It just looks so deceiving on how much it actually turns through that second part of the turn. It's just awful. I hate it, man. I should probably learn it, but I just don't want to. Coming up to 130RR, I felt like I did brake a bit too much going into that. Obviously, seeing I didn't use all the track, and into this stupid little slow chicane. Obviously, I took it quite nicely here, using the whole track to maximise speed. And coming down the last turn and finishing quite close to that right wall just to shave a few thousandths of a second off. Going into this race, I was feeling quite confident, obviously starting in P2 here. Obviously there's no such thing as a good start off a rolling start, but I did manage to catch up a little bit to this guy here. Obviously he did brake a bit too much going into turn 1, and I managed to catch up to him. Obviously we both brake a bit too much in that corner, causing P3 behind me to catch up a little bit. Going through S's here, I could see this guy in P1 was quite sporadic with his inputs, obviously with a lot of tiny little braking and steering inputs. As you can see here, going through here, he's just tapping the brake ever so slowly sometimes, which is causing him to lose time, but he does manage to get quite a good bit away from me here. Now, throughout these corners, I managed to take them quite well. And first, obviously, not so much. I do manage to gain about 3 tenths on him through those two corners, leading me to even try and make a move on this hairpin here. Now, we do hit the braking zone a bit late, and I do actually ghost a bit through him, but whether that's his fault or my fault, I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments. I have no clue whatsoever. Coming into Spoon now, I do actually manage to get my front just in front of him, and I'm guessing he over-braked here and spun out as he was pushing the car too hard, trying to keep up with me, leaving me in P1 actually on the end of the first lap nearly, which is quite good for me. Never really been in this position before. Now that position got to be taken off me here, but this German driver who's just came down the inside on me and is just going to throw it through 130R, give me a little tap there and nearly put me off the track. Bit annoyed at that myself, but I guess it is what it is. He definitely could have took a more inside line, not pushed me off the track there, but I'm happy to still be close to him at this point in time. Moving forward a bit in time here to S's on lap 2, he does actually make a pretty sizable gap throughout the first two corners and the straight, but I managed to bring it back a little bit here on S's just with that pretty solid and consistent line speed. Hopefully just trying to get within grasping distance of him to try and get into a slipstream on some of the longer straights on Suzuka. Through these two corners here, I do manage to make an actual close gap, kind of, between me and P1 with just my quite strong and superior lines, but as I said during qualifying, my line through here is pretty abysmal. As you can see here, he actually does pull away from me quite a bit on this straight. This does turn out to be quite a recurring theme throughout some of the laps in this race due to my pretty horrid line here, but I just managed to make a 1.3 second gap. Hopefully I can pull some of that time back on Spoon here. Obviously, I've not managed to quite do that. Obviously, the Group 4 Alpha is a pretty superior car right now in the Gran Turismo meta, especially on Suzuka, with quite a lot of people rocking it right now. I do actually manage to set fastest lap here by 0.29 of a second here. Pretty good, but obviously there's still work to be done here. We don't get points for fastest lap. As we can see again here, my pretty solid line, making up quite a sizable bit of time on S's. Closing the gap here and hopefully trying to make a move on him within this lap. As we can see here, he has kind of messed up, and that has caused me to get with about 0.1 of a second. And as you can see here again, my pretty abysmal line, bringing that 0.1 gap to up to a 0.8 gap just for that one hairpin. Moving forward to the end of lap 3 here, we can see that he has a pretty abysmal braking bit there, and I do manage to make a really great amount of time back on that chicane there, hopefully trying to keep it close for the last lap and battle for that brilliant first place. Now that within overtaking distance, I managed to swerve to the side and pull a pretty big dive bomb off and just nip in front of everyone on turn 1 and get in front of them and secure first place. And all I've got to do is defend this with my heart for the rest of this lap to try and take home P1. Now this is a pretty crucial part of the race. You'll see here on my radar, he actually touches the gravel and pulls back a little bit. You can see that on the radar down there. And I managed to make a really quite large gap between me and the German in P2. Now another crucial part in the dying embers of this race, you'll see on the radar here, he just completely spins out. Obviously under some deep pressure, he just loses it. He loses the whole race and creates about a 7-6 second gap between me and him, securing the fill of the race for me. Coming up to the final corner of a short but sweet race, I have made a pretty sizable 7-second gap between me and him and take home the race for myself. Feel quite bad for him, but he did end up securing a P2 anyways. Hope to see you guys in the next day of the race. I don't know which one I'm going to pick next, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.